Welcome to this the Rhode Island Francophonie flag-raising ceremony. I was reminded earlier today by Ann Conway that this is the 18th year that we've been doing this. Each year, this to celebrate our ethnicity, the language, the culture of France. This is a month, as we know, where we celebrate everybody's culture. We just did Ireland and the Irish, the French, the Italians. That got them all. We had Zeppelins. So this is a great time, and those of us who are French, and those who wish they were French, get to enjoy this celebration of our culture. So again, welcome to all of you. Although the governor and the Consul General of France, we were not actually in this room when the students from the French-American school were singing, we could hear them. So they did a great job, so we should just say thank you to them again. So we have a brief speaking program of some distinguished guests who are here today that want to join us in this celebration. And starting off, it is my privilege and my honor to recognize and to introduce for a few brief remarks the governor of the state of Rhode Island, Governor Dan McKee.
Thank you, Roger, and again, thank you for your leadership, leadership that's been well recognized in terms of being distinguished by the French community throughout the world. So, Roger, thank you for your leadership. And passing the baton now to your daughter, Stephanie, right? Yes, that's a good thing. Yeah, good. Well, it's great to be here with the Consul General, and we just had a great conversation about some plans that could get me to Paris potentially in the near future, and on some state business. So we really appreciate you being here and sharing, in Rhode Island, your leadership, and also, making sure that as we try to connect not only with the Francophone community in Rhode Island, the French community, French-Canadian community here in Rhode Island, but also extend it, into France itself. So thank you so much, Consul General, for being here today. So we know, and as Roger mentioned, that we celebrate all our communities that live in Rhode Island in the state room on a regular basis. And each time that I come to the microphone, I acknowledge how the different communities that make up Rhode Island create a real strength to our state. And today I get to express that again on the French community. And I see a number of the reps and senators here from my second hometown of Woonsocket, right? So thank you so much for your leadership. And along with Ann Conway, with the museum, where's Ann? Ann's hanging around here somewhere. Yes, there she is. Who has called Cumberland home for a while as well, so my hometown. But when you put it all in the mix, it takes communities like we're honoring today to create a special place like Rhode Island. And whether it's in the culture that we've talked about, or whether it's in the economy, we know the contributions that are being made by the French and Canadian community in Rhode Island is significant. So it gives me a chance to stand here today as we raise the flag. I'm encouraged by the unity that it symbolizes, and each celebration that we have here in the state room. So as governor, I hope everyone takes the time to reflect on the legacy of the original French-Canadian settlers here in Rhode Island and harness the power of togetherness. That's important now more than ever. And we are better off having Francophone leaders and partners here today representing a large community in the state of Rhode Island that contributes so much to our culture and our economy and the leadership of our state. So thank you for having me here today, Roger. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much, Governor, and thank you for your past support. You've been here when you've had other titles, and your continued support is certainly welcome. So thank you again for being here. So the governor kind of stole some of my thunder. I was going to say that in the past years that I've been here, I usually would say that I'm proud to be here as the Honorary Consul of France. But now I am proud to introduce the next Honorary Consul of France from Rhode Island, Stephanie Bégin, my daughter. So, Steph, why don't you just stand up? So, so I've enjoyed serving in this role for more than 25 years, but and still, I'm not going away. I'm still going to be part of this and enjoy being part of this. And also want to recognize the person who is the glue that puts all of this together and so easily and so successfully. Thank you again to Ann Conway. As the governor pointed out, it seems in northern Rhode Island, that's where we have our delegation from Woonsocket, where we have some loyal supporters who are there. And we're so pleased to have with us today to say a few words. We have Representatives Casey, Phillips, and Breen who are here, and I'll let them come up and you guys can decide. Oh, and Representative Cruz, there we are. Thank you very much. From Pawtucket, that's right. Who also has a connection there?
Thank you, Roger. Thank you very much, Roger. Bonjour. Merci à tous d'être ici aujourd'hui pour célébrer la culture francophone et les nombreuses contributions de notre communauté francophone. Je m'appelle Steve Casey, je suis un représentant de l'État pour la ville de Woonsocket. I tried really hard. Thank you. Woonsocket is a very proud city with a rich history, and we would not be the city we are today without the many contributions of the Francophone community, especially the French-Canadian community. For over 300 years, the French-Canadian community helped build our city, our state, and our country. The French-Canadians played a very vital role in making Rhode Island and the United States industrial powerhouses by building our textile industry. The French-Canadian workers played a vital role in American military history, helping supply our troops in World War II. And French-Canadians continue to contribute to the economy and the culture of Woonsocket. I'm very proud of our city, and I'm very grateful for the people keeping the Francophone language and culture alive. Thank you all for having me here as we celebrate our city, state, and the Francophone culture that keeps Rhode Island and Woonsocket strong. I'd like to introduce to you our other representatives from Woonsocket, Mr. John Breen, Representative Breen, Representative Phillips, and we also have our special guest, Representative Cruz from Pawtucket, who also has French connections, we'll say. If you guys would like to come up and present the citations from the Statehouse, that would be great. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Representative Casey, I appreciate that. Governor, Mr. Consul General, Roger, of course, Stephanie, Ann, thank you for everything you do. This is not the first Francophone celebration I've done, that's for sure. And I've been with Roger for a while. And you know, Stephanie, we're keeping the French-Canadian heritage alive here because your dad was here in the chamber with my dad many, many years ago as a state representative, and now here I am representing Woonsocket, and you're representing, well, you're taking over for your dad, so that's really a great story. Woonsocket and the French-Canadian culture really is so important to us and in Woonsocket, and Ann does such a great job keeping it alive, and it seems in a day when it's almost, we don't want to let it fade, we want to hold on to it. So we do everything we can to keep that heritage alive. Events like this, celebrations like this, being able to recognize what our French-Canadian heritage has done for the United States, for Rhode Island, for our hometown of Woonsocket. And also, I want to tell you for Pawtucket, because it was 2 years ago, I came back as a freshman, and I saw Cherie Cruz, Representative Cherie Cruz. She was out there in the audience, and I said, she sat there the whole time and laughed at the event. I said, Cherie, what do you do? I mean, you're a freshman. I guess you came here just to see what's going on. She's like, my family name is Pelletier, so I'm French-Canadian. I had no idea. So you can expect Cherie to be a part of this event from here on after, because I think that whether it's from Woonsocket, Pawtucket, the industrial cities is where the French Canadians really made such a difference in this state and in this country. I know we have some citations to give, and I have one, and this is for the Consulate General. So Mrs. Jose Cimini, Consulate Officer, Consulate General of Canada in Boston, be it hereby known to all that the Rhode Island House of Representatives hereby offers its sincere congratulations, welcoming you to Rhode Island for the Francophone flag-raising ceremony and celebrating the rich and diverse Francophone culture, customs, and values in the state of Rhode Island. So thank you and welcome. And that's signed by Speaker Sicarci, Leader Blazajewski, Minority Leader Chippendale, and all the representatives that are here for you, and so glad that you're here. So thank you for being here. Thank you all, and we're just so happy about today.
Thank you. And on that same vein, thank you, Leader Brian. In addition, I have another citation, but I also just want to add, and John had shared some of the story, and so I always share, so my great-grandparents, Amélie Pelletier and Josephine Chaput, had immigrated to Rhode Island, well, through Connecticut, and then ended up in Rhode Island, where my grandmother was born in Central Falls. And they worked in the mills. My great-grandfather, Amélie Pelletier, was a loom operator, and that's what he did in Pawtucket and Central Falls. So it's very proud. My grandmother grew up in a household that spoke French, was very proud of her French-Canadian heritage from Quebec. And I also share a story where we talked about all the contributions in addition to the mills and, building this country. Also, my great-uncle, Leo Pelletier, I like to share the story, and he was in the papers in the 40s when he was in World War II as a private and had received the Purple Heart. And one of the things he loved to do, and what I loved to watch the children sing, is he was a singer and a tap dancer. And what they did when he was wounded several times, and each time while he was wounded before he came back, he had, partnered with a sergeant, Valdez from Los Angeles, and they created the Egg and the Bear Review. And they went around Europe singing and dancing and uplifting for the soldiers. And he came back, home to Central Falls and worked in the Peerless Mill. And it was a really proud moment, again, bringing back to that Pawtucket Central Falls history, but also that pride they had as French Canadians and wanting to give so much to this country. So I just wanted to share that. And I know as John shared, well, your last name Cruz. Well, my grandmother had married Cruz from Central Falls of Hispanic background. So it is confusing, but very proud heritage. And again, I really take great pride in my grandmother Beatrice, who spoke in French and really kept a lot of that history. So thank you for being here, and I'll be here as long as I'm here, whether I'm in this position or not. So with that, I want to recognize Mr. Rainey Silvestri. And in the same, again, this is welcoming you to Rhode Island Statehouse for the Francophone flag-raising ceremony and celebrating the rich and diverse Francophone culture, customs, and values in the state of Rhode Island. Thank you.
And the cleanup hitter. I'm not going to read it because it's the same one that everybody's read, except for this is from Mr. Mustafa Sokert, who is the Consul General of France in Boston itself. So we welcome you to Rhode Island. Come to Rhode Island more than Boston. Boston, it has been. We're the hip place to be now. So, Mr. Sokert, we welcome you, and congratulations for everything and keeping all the French stuff alive.
Thank you to the delegation. Thank you very much for being here. We had all the students that were here from the French-American School, and I should recognize Dominique Brodeur, who is the head of school, and so she gets all the credit for all the great work that those students do. So thank you, that you better do. We have our friends, other friends from the north here, and I'll underscore the word friends to our people from Canada and from Quebec. So we have first representing the delegation from Quebec, we have Mr. René Sylvestre, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to say a few words.
Merci. Thank you, Roger, Governor, Consul General, my friend from the Consul General. I'm delighted to be here today as the representative of Quebec. As you may know, the government of Quebec has an office in Boston since more than 50 years now. And for me, it's a bit special to be here because I have also a story with Rhode Island. Where I come from in Quebec, the Lanaudière region, many people decades ago decided to come to the United States for a better life, and many came here in Rhode Island. So people from Sainte-Geneviève de Berthier, Saint-Gabriel, Saint-Barthélemy. Today I met someone, Mr. Brûlé, from the same region, so came here for a better life. And the contribution of these people, even today, is remarkable. So for me, again, to be here today is a little bit special. And I want to thank you, the state of Rhode Island, and also you representatives for the importance you made for this day. I really appreciate that. Un merci spécial à Anne également, qui travaille très fort pour faire la promotion de la francophonie. C'est vraiment pour nous, Anne, vous êtes quelqu'un de très spécial pour nous. Donc, so again, thank you for being here, taking the time to take some moment to reflect on this, the contribution of francophone and francophonie here in the region. Merci, au plaisir.
Thank you very much, Renee. And as you've heard others who are speaking, that while this is a celebration of French, many who have a connection to France, but as you know in Rhode Island, the predominant connection is through Quebec. And so there are many of the families that are here represented. So thank you very much for being here. Well, we recognized Anne Conway and thank her for all that she does. We have the Museum of Work and Culture is actually part of the Rhode Island Historical Society, and which does a great job in celebrating the history of our state, of the many cultures in the history of our state. And my good friend Morgan Greff is here. She's the executive director. So thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing Anne to do all the great work that she does for us. So Morgan Greff, thank you. And his name was just mentioned a few moments ago, but I see Paul Bruley in the back there, who's been a great friend of everything that's French. And I have to admit that he's the person that I go to many times when I need somebody to help me speak French really well. He's the guy that I go to. So, as I said, over the years, I have had the privilege of representing France as the honorary consul. And it is my privilege now to introduce to you the Consul General of France to Rhode Island, Mustafa Soykert.
Bonjour à tous. I have to say I am in a very comfortable position because everybody told and said everything about Francophonie, so I'm now able to say what I want to say. I'm free. So first of all, Governor, thank you very much for your support and your engagement towards Francophonie. Thank you again, because none of this would be possible without you. Thank you. Thank you, Representative, because, well, we owe you also this ceremony. Thank you very much, because this is not one shot. This is something you do it for a long time. Merci beaucoup. Let me also thank Roger for your commitment and your engagement. Let me also thank Stephanie. Well, you take on the job. I don't know if you really knew what you were doing, but now you are on the boat, no choice. And let me also acknowledge the presence of a colleague from the French embassy. She's in charge of the French schools. So she is there with the directrice de l'École française du Rhode Island. And Miss Moret, just over there, she came from Washington. So this is something we have to acknowledge. Actually, tomorrow she's in Boston. But I know, I heard that Boston is not the place. I get the message. I am not going to make a long speech. I have, pages of, remembering what Francophonie is. I think you all know what it is because it's your life. You live Francophonie. And you are a member of families which has mémés and pépés everywhere, and you do speak French. And this is the best link we have. Francophonie is a language. French language is a language that unites us, but it is also an asset. And we want to develop it because we think that it is not just about culture, this is also about opportunity. And we want to develop that. I am very grateful. Thank you, Governor, again. And if you are asking yourself, if you want something, if you need something with concerning French language, please do not hesitate. We are here in the consulate in Boston, colleagues in Washington, all at your service to help you develop the French language in schools and also in economic links. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very, very much. Mustafa, I'll just say that it has been a privilege working with you, for you as the Consul General and all of your predecessors. You do a wonderful job representing France, and we always appreciate your contact to the state of Rhode Island and helping us in helping advance the mission that you have. And so thank you again for being here. We have from Canada, our friend from the north, and we are so pleased to have with us Mrs. Josie Samini, who is the consular officer from the Consulate General of Boston, and I please invite you to come up.
Bonjour, gouverneur, les représentants, monsieur le consul général de France, et puis monsieur Sylvestre, délégué de Québec. Merci pour cette occasion. Sorry. Okay. Better? Mieux? Okay. Thank you to all of the elected officials and dignitaries here with us today for taking time out of their busy schedules to celebrate la Journée internationale de la francophonie in Rhode Island. Je suis très heureuse d'être avec vous aujourd'hui pour partager à cette célébration. Many of you already know that the Canada-Rhode Island relationship has long been strong, thanks to our significant economic, cultural, and historical ties. Many of those ties stem from the numerous Canadians, including French Canadians, who over the decades chose to make Rhode Island their home in communities such as Woonsocket. No matter whether you're a first-generation Francophone, new to America, or you're a third-generation Rhode Islander of French-Canadian descent, or a Francophile like me, today we celebrate the richness and vibrancy of the French language, as well as the contributions of Francophones to our cultural heritage and collective identity. Canadians appreciate how the Francophone community, whether in the international arena or in communities like the ones here in Rhode Island, provide us with a forum for cooperation and dialogue, one that allows us to promote the values that matter the most to Canadians, namely peace, democracy, respect for human rights, and cultural and linguistic diversity. Unfortunately, these values face increased challenges these days around the world, challenges that have found their way into Canada-U.S. relations, where threats to our sovereignty now replace centuries of bilateral cooperation and collaboration. Let us take an example from La Francophonie and find ways to work with one another to bring prosperity and growth to our communities while raising our voices for the many benefits that come from diversity and dialogue. Merci.
Thank you very much. We respect your sovereignty. We have another organization in the state that really is all about celebrating French, and they do it throughout the year. And so we have a delegation here from Club Richelieu. I see Trudy is here and others who are here, so thank you for your presence and being part of this this afternoon as well. Next we have, yes. Always a highlight is when we have Michel Libert, who's president of the American Association of French Teachers, and he's here. He's a teacher of French at Classical High School. Does a great job, and he has his students who are here. And so let me introduce Michel to introduce his guests as well.
Okay. Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. Salutations de la part de l'Association américaine des professeurs de français. Je suis content d'être parmi vous une nouvelle fois pour fêter la langue française et les cultures francophones autour du monde et plus précisément dans le Rhode Island. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and greetings on behalf of the American Association of Teachers of French. I'm happy to be here once again. I think this is my 15th time. That's a long time. To celebrate the French language in many Francophone cultures around the world, and more specifically here in Rhode Island. Once more, and more importantly, I know you didn't come here to see me, you came to see those guys and girls right there. I'm happy to bring a group of students from Classical High School here in Providence, 26 enthusiastic students, in fact, to present themselves en français, bien sûr. Many started learning the language of Molière at various stages of schooling, some in middle school, some in high school, here at Classical. And we actually have one native speaker from Haiti with us in my class, Français 4 AP, French 4 AP. Incidentally, before we came this afternoon, we enjoyed a nice déjeuner francophone, a nice little French-inspired a lunch at the Crepe Corner in Patuxent Village. The students and I enjoyed some crepes, beignets, pain perdu, des gaufres, etc. In fact, the owner is a Belgian, francophone, and her name is Natasha Lejean, and we would like to publicly thank her for receiving my students at the Crepe Corner. OK, les élèves, vous êtes prêts? Oui? OK, on commence. Alors, mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente les élèves de français de Classical High School.
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Christopher et j'ai commencé d'apprendre le français à l'école franco-américaine à l'âge de 4 ans. C'est grâce à tous mes profs et toute la communauté française ici à Rhode Island que je pourrais aller à l'université en France gratuitement. Je pourrais, même si je vais continuer d'utiliser le français, il m'a déjà donné plusieurs opportunités, comme aller en France et faire la connaissance de beaucoup de personnes françaises. Le français a ouvert beaucoup de portes pour moi et pour ça, je suis très reconnaissant. Merci à tout le monde pour tout que vous avez fait pour moi. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Lucas, j'ai 16 ans et je suis un élève de français 4 au lycée classical. J'apprends le français depuis 5 ans. Pour moi, le français est comme des lunettes. Il m'a ouvert les yeux sur l'importance des langues et de la bonne communication. Et en plus, grâce au français, j'ai appris l'importance de préserver les cultures francophones. C'est pourquoi je suis heureuse aujourd'hui. Puisqu'aujourd'hui, nous célébrons la culture francophone et la préservons pour l'avenir. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Maya, j'ai 17 ans. J'étudie le français depuis 4 ans. Et maintenant, la langue française, ça fait partie de ma vie. Elle est une langue très belle et très utile parce que c'est parlé dans le monde entier. Je suis heureuse d'avoir découvert le français et j'espère continuer mes études en français. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Reina, j'ai 16 ans. J'étudie le français depuis 6 ans et cette langue est restée avec moi. J'aime beaucoup apprendre le français. C'est une langue que je ne m'attendais pas à apprendre. J'espère aller à Paris un jour. Merci beaucoup.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Shania, j'ai 17 ans et j'étudie le français depuis 4 ans. Quant à moi, c'est une langue très belle et il m'a permis de trouver des nouveaux amis. J'ai aussi l'avantage de pouvoir voyager à l'étranger. Grâce au français, j'ai le pouvoir de m'entendre avec ma famille et même avec des inconnus d'une nouvelle manière. Donc, je suis très reconnaissante d'avoir découvert le français. Merci.
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Enzo Gomez, j'ai 17 ans, je suis espagnol et asiatique et ma famille est originaire de Cuba et du Laos. Je commence à apprendre le français en première année, donc 3 avec mon CIB qui m'a tout appris. La culture francophone est importante pour moi parce qu'elle m'a permis de découvrir la culture et m'a aidé un jour comme aujourd'hui à parler et comprendre la langue. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Léo, j'ai 17 ans. Je suis haïtien et je parle créole haïtien à la maison avec ma famille. Cette année dernière, j'ai eu la chance d'apprendre le français et découvrir la langue francophone. Monsieur Hubert a été un excellent professeur, il m'a beaucoup apprécié et eu un souhait reconnaissant. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Abdoulaye Barry, je suis né au Sénégal et je suis en première au lycée Glasgow High School. Pour moi, le français est une langue très importante et unique. J'ai été entouré par la langue française depuis ma naissance et la culture a vraiment façonné qui je suis aujourd'hui. Je suis heureux d'avoir étudié le français au lycée et j'espère poursuivre mes études plus loin. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Ian. Je suis 16 ans. Au cours de mes 5 ans d'études de français, j'ai appris beaucoup de choses, mais ce qui m'a le plus marqué, c'est l'art. J'adore l'histoire riche que l'art a eu dans la culture française et l'impact qu'il a à travers le monde francophone, c'est l'impressionnisme, en particulier l'œuvre créée par Claude Monet. J'adore les magnifiques couleurs utilisées dans son l'art et le merveilleuse image qu'il créait. Mon marqueur préféré s'appelle bleu, blanc, rouge. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Leonardo. J'ai 16 ans. Je suis étudiant de la Classical High School. J'ai étudié le français pendant 5 ans avec M. Hébert et Mme Exy. La langue française m'a fait découvrir la richesse de la culture francophone à travers tout le monde. Je pense que c'est une expérience formidable et que j'ai beaucoup appris. Merci tout le monde.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Daryl, j'ai 6 ans et je vais au Classical High School. J'ai parlé de France depuis 6 ans. Monsieur Hébert a aidé moi à découvrir la culture francophonie. La culture francophonie est importante pour moi parce qu'il a connecté ma famille et l'histoire haïtienne. Merci beaucoup.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Edwin Portillo et je suis né au Guatemala. Je suis élève au Classical High School in Providence, Rhode Island. Je prends les cours de français depuis 6 ans et je trouve la langue très belle et très importante à apprendre. Il y a 1 an, je suis allé au Québec pour rendre visite à mon oncle. J'utilise mon français pour communiquer avec les citoyens canadiens. J'ai fait les courses, aidé mes parents à faire les plans d'essence et réserver une chambre d'hôtel. Sans parler français, certains endroits seront difficiles pour parcourir et c'est pourquoi le français est très important pour apprendre. Merci de m'avoir accueilli aujourd'hui.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Joël et j'étudie la langue et la culture francophone depuis 2019. Pendant mes études de la francophonie, j'ai découvert des aspects de ma vie que je vais ignorer, comme l'approche de la musique francophonie, la cuisine et l'histoire. Grâce à M. Hébert, j'ai appris la compréhension des autres cultures qui est très important pour comprendre ma communauté. J'espère que toute personne du Rhode Island pourrait étudier une langue comme le français, afin que tu apprennes à se battre l'ignorance culturelle. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Yumari Abreu et je suis un élève au lycée classical. En réalité, je n'avais pas l'option de choisir quelle langue à étudier au collège et il me place en classe de français. Mais j'ai choisi de continuer mes études en français parce que je suis tombé amoureux de leur culture, particulièrement la nourriture francophone. J'espère employer ce que j'ai appris en classe de français dans ma vie quotidienne à l'avenir. C'est tout. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Stephanie. J'ai étudié à Classical High School et je suis ma dernière année d'école. Avant d'aller à Classical High School, je n'avais aucune expérience en la langue française. Mais quand je suis allée à un voyage à France, je m'intéressais à poursuivre l'étude de français au lycée. J'ai aussi décidé d'après l'école, je vais continuer avec l'étude français à l'université. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Wesley et je viens d'une famille hispanique avec des origines guatémaltèques et salvadoriennes. Depuis quelques ans, j'apprends le français à l'école qui s'appelle Classical High School parce que j'aime les cultures et les langues. Au début, c'était difficile, surtout avec la prononciation et la vitesse à laquelle les francophones parlent, mais avec le temps, j'ai progressé et j'ai commencé à comprendre plus de choses. J'ai toujours voulu pratiquer avec des personnes dont le français est la langue maternelle, mais je n'en avais pas souvent l'occasion. Malgré toutes les difficultés que les Français m'ont apportées, j'ai appris à aimer cette langue. Même quand je ne comprends pas tout ou que j'ai fait des erreurs, j'ai apprécié les difficultés et la beauté de la langue. Chaque conversation, même compliquée, est une opportunité d'apprendre et de progresser. J'espère continuer à m'améliorer et en apprendre encore plus sur la culture francophone. Merci de m'avoir écouté et à bientôt.
Bon après-midi, mesdames et messieurs. Je m'appelle Daniela et j'ai 18 ans. Je suis très ravie d'être ici. Comme beaucoup d'élèves, j'ai choisi d'apprendre le français parce que je trouve la culture française intéressante. Pendant les 4 dernières années de lycée, j'ai appris le français et cette expérience a été très enrichissante. J'ai eu l'opportunité de découvrir la culture française ainsi que la culture francophone en général. Monsieur Hébert m'a aidé à atteindre un bon niveau de cette langue. Je suis maintenant convaincue que je pourrai engager une conversation avec un Parisien quand je visiterai la France un jour. Je serai fière d'emporter avec moi les connaissances que j'ai acquises depuis ma première année de lycée. Merci à Monsieur Hébert. Merci à Monsieur Hébert de m'avoir enseigné la langue française et merci à vous tous pour votre attention.
Bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Claire et je suis dans la classe de 9e au lycée de Classico. Permettez-moi de me présenter davantage. Pour commencer, je suis une Haïtienne née aux États-Unis. Cependant, j'ai grandi et vécu en Haïti pour 13 ans. Dès ma naissance, j'ai été exposée à la langue française en tant que ma première langue. Par la suite, j'ai appris le créole haïtien au cours des années. Donc, je parle couramment les 2 langues officielles de ce pays, le français et le créole haïtien. Grâce à la langue française, j'ai eu la possibilité de rencontrer des personnes incroyables, dont l'une d'entre elles est mon professeur de français, M. Hébert. Je tiens à le remercier de m'avoir chaleureusement accueilli dans sa classe, mais aussi de m'avoir offert l'opportunité de prendre part à cette célébration. Je suis vraiment reconnaissante de pouvoir célébrer la fête de la francophonie aujourd'hui avec vous. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Shaylee, j'ai 16 ans. Ma langue maternelle est l'espagnol. J'étudie le français depuis 5 ans. Je voulais apprendre le français parce qu'un jour j'espère voyager en France. Je pense qu'il est important de pouvoir parler plusieurs langues. Merci, au revoir.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Dariana. J'ai 17 ans et je suis dominicaine. J'ai étudié le français depuis 5 ans. J'ai décidé d'apprendre à parler français parce que j'ai toujours voulu visiter Paris. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Ariel, j'ai 16 ans et je vais au Classical High School. J'étudie le français depuis 6 ans, premier avec Mademoiselle Exit et maintenant avec Monsieur Hébert. Ils m'aidaient à comprendre une culture que je ne connaissais pas et m'aidaient à apprendre plus de la langue française. Apprendre le français est important pour moi parce qu'il m'a aidé à apprendre une nouvelle langue et apprendre les diverses cultures francophones. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Josh, j'ai 17 ans et j'attends Classical High School. Et l'aspect le plus intéressant que j'ai découvert en français est la diversité des accents et des expressions dans les pays francophones. J'ai continué à apprendre cette langue parce que cela m'aidait à mieux comprendre différentes cultures. Ce qui me fascine le plus est la beauté et la musicalité de la langue, qui la rendent unique et agréable à entendre. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Henry, j'ai 17 ans et j'apprends le français à Classical High School depuis 4 ans. J'étudie la langue parce que ma famille est d'origine française et elle est un aspect important de ma culture. J'ai déjà parlé à ma grand-mère dans sa langue maternelle et j'espère rendre visite à ma famille en France. Un jour, je voudrais parler couramment le français. Grâce à M. Hébert, j'ai fait beaucoup de progrès. Merci.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Crystal et j'ai 15 ans. J'étudie le français à Classical depuis 2 ans. Apprendre le français a été très bénéfique pour moi parce que j'ai pu me connecter avec plus de personnes qui parlaient le français. Et j'ai pu explorer différents aspects de la culture française comme la musique et le cinéma. Savoir aussi parler français m'aidera dans mon avenir, carrière et toute ma vie. Je vous remercie à mon Hébert pour sa patience et sa compréhension, tout m'aidant à améliorer mon français. Merci.
Ils ont bien fait, non? Ouais. All right. C'est un grand groupe cette année en plus, 26 élèves. C'est le groupe le plus grand groupe que j'ai jamais eu. Bravo les élèves. OK, merci tout le monde. Merci de nous avoir reçus cet après-midi et à la prochaine, n'est-ce pas? Bye.
Thank you very much. You always do such a great job with your students. Thank you so much, Michelle. And to wrap up, we have the other partner in the state that is so important in helping to preserve and promote French culture is the Alliance Française. We have from Newport here, I just want to recognize Barry Bailey. Is Barry here? I'm not sure. Okay. But speaking on behalf of, to say a few words, is our good friend who has been part of this for a long time, Dominique Gregoire from the Alliance Française of Providence. Dominique?
Thank you, Roger. And, merci à tous d'être venus cet après-midi pour fêter la francophonie avec nous. Ça me fait extrêmement plaisir, ça nous fait à tous extrêmement plaisir. Voilà. Donc, welcome. Je voudrais essayer de vous... I would like to give you, if I could, a state of the francophonie in the world and the state of the francophonie in Rhode Island. Okay? We have to remember that on a very sunny Sunday, August 10, 1569, the King of France, Francis I, issued an executive order. Sounds familiar? And which declared that all the documents, official documents in the kingdom, would now have to be written in French. You have to understand that before that, the documents were written in Latin. Needless to say that in France, nobody could read Latin or even speak it. Nobody also could practically speak French. They all spoke Breton, Occitano, that kind of stuff, So this is really the date when the French becomes the official language of the Kingdom of France, all right? Now, that happened in a little chateau, Villers-Cotterêts, about 40 miles north of Paris, and the king went there. Now, you have to realize that when the king goes somewhere, he has a whole bunch of stuff behind him, his furniture, his beds, his women, and the cooks, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so that's another story. So Villers-Cotterêts is a rather small chateau in the north of France. And since then, President Macron had made Villers-Cotterêts le siège de la Cité internationale de la langue française. So, si vous allez, if you go to France, please visit the château de Villers-Cotterêts et learn what this particular institution has to offer. Okay. Now, since then, la francophonie a grandi. Today, c'est 311 million people who in the world speak French, okay? And that's, I believe, 3.6% of the world population. It's the 5th language in the world, okay? And it's the only one that's spoken in 5 continents, including English, of course. And, okay, so at this point, 60% about of the Francophone, the speakers of French live in Africa, okay? The biggest, what is the biggest capital Francophone city in the world? Anybody? I can't hear it. Kinshasa! Bingo! Okay, 17 million people who speak French over in Kinshasa. So it's a big city. Now, the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, okay, is really the place, the center where all these countries, and it's 93 countries who are members of the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, and it's a place where, they can exchange and have share the values, the language, but the values that, we all aspire to, democracy, human rights, and liberty. So, the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie is headed by a summit. The summit of the Francophonie gets together every 2 years, okay? And it's all the heads of state and government that get together, all right? And the last one was at Villers-Cotterêts. Next year, it will be in Cambodia. The Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie also organizes games, kind of Olympic games of the Francophone world. And the next one will be in 2027 in Armenia. So you will tell me, Armenia, do they speak French over there? Well, there are countries that are associated with the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, and there are nations that are actually members of the Organisation de la Francophonie. Now, so the Francophonie is very strong at this point and is growing. It is estimated that by 2070, we will probably won't be around, but there will be 600 to 800 million people speaking French in the world. Okay, so let's go to the local scene now. And of course, you have seen those fabulous foot soldiers that we have here in Rhode Island. We just saw, Michael, this talk by your student was fabulous, okay? And if I may say, a much higher level than the years before. This is great. Yeah. Okay. So Michael does a lot of things. You know, he organizes the Grand Concours for 1,000 students a year. He organizes concerts and also heads the advocacy system by the French teachers, meaning that when in a school decides there won't be any more French, okay, Michael sends a bunch of emails everywhere and asks us to support the fact that there should be a French teacher in that school. So he's very active that way, okay? Of course, our next foot soldier is our friend Benedict Bauder, okay? The school is now almost 30 years old, okay? And you've been there for 6 years, and so congratulations. You have, what, 150 students about, yeah? And so it's great work. And now she just came back, Anne. You're the director of the museum. And right now you're going through some trouble because you have to repair the roof, correct? Because it's after the storm there was a problem. So I went the other day, and Anne is up there, you know, nailing boards and stuff. Anyway, so Anne is organizing for the Francophonie, you know, a big celebration that will be Sunday the 30th at the Blackstone River Theater, and she features a musical group, a French-Canadian musical group, you know, the name of which is Grosse Île, Fat Island, I don't know. And there will be food, there will be the traditional poutine that she loves, and so on and so forth. So tickets are $30, so that's pretty cheap. And so you're all invited to come to the Blackstone River Theater. The next, the Alliance Française of Newport, okay, is organizing a masquerade ball, and that will be Saturday the 29th. I forget exactly where, but at some police lodge in Middletown. And so last year it was a big success, and so I think that there'll be the same thing this time, okay? And then finally, I want to mention that sponsored by the Rhode Island French Genealogical Society and Le Foyer and the Rhode Island Foundation, they are organizing a bal breton. So, un bal breton, c'est un bal with Breton music, you know, and accordion and so on and so forth. And that will be Saturday the 29th, you know, from 3 to 5:30, okay? Voilà. Alors, last but not least, the Alliance Française de Providence. Actually, we are not organizing an event, okay? We had something last week. We did around words, you know, and La Dictée, which is the second year that we do La Dictée, and games around words and trivia and the like. Well, and we are very happy because we just learned that our house that we purchased in 2010, okay, for $240,000 is now worth $750,000. So I'm very glad personally because I can feel that this is going to be an opportunity to maintain the perennity of this organization, and which is turning 125 next year. And we are organizing a big gala at the Cafe Nuovo Rotonda of the Citizens Bank in downtown. And that will be Saturday, October 24th. And you are all invited. We did one last time at the same place. It was great, and we had a beautiful time. So, and just a few words in French. Tomorrow I'll try to go look at the sea and remind me of the verses of Valérie. You know. Ce toit tranquille où marchent des colombes, entre les pins, palpite entre les tombes. Merci.
Dominic, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you have done over the years and continue to do on behalf of all people of French. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for all that you do individually and collectively to make this celebration of our French and French culture a success. Thank you for being here. This concludes the program. You are all invited to go to the gallery of the House of Representatives. Our dignitaries will be there to be recognized momentarily. With that, thank you. Have a great rest of your day.